right, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend and you guys spent some time with family and everyone's doing just fabulous. Lots of price action this week. We had lots of movements down, right? We got a rejection off the 21 weekly EMA up here, right? We had two attempts at trying to break this moving average, and we got a rejection twice. So we're heading back down to retest supports, and we're going to talk about that here in just 1 second. What's up, IJ Money? So we're really looking at this upsloping channel that Bitcoin's in right here, and it's looking like we might actually break this channel, depending on. Yes, sir, Alex. Yes, sir. You guys hear that? We have our VIP tomorrow, and it's open to everybody to join. So make sure you guys block out that time for that. It's tomorrow morning. All right, so Tether kind of decoupled from the DXY this week. Did you guys see that? Basically, what I'm looking at here is so this actually I think it's at 11 o'clock tomorrow, Aaron. So the deal here is with Tether. I'm going to redraw this chart because I have a lot of stuff on it, but right, weekly candle just closed. Tether putting in a weekly bullish engulfing candle, right? We're still below the weekly 21 EMA, but you know, we held the 50 here, right? And it's not boding too well right now for crypto if Tether's going to be pretty strong here. Remember, we did break this trend line here. All right, so this trend line was broken. All right, that was a major trend line that we saw break, and you could see that Tether kind of formed a base right here, which is technically a higher low than this low, this low here from August. We're going to spend some time on this Tether chart here because I really want to get a good idea where the market direction is going here these next couple weeks, and I think lots of you guys will benefit from knowing that information. So I'm going to just do my thing here and kind of just get an idea of where this thing might be headed. Okay. So I'm just drawing some ranges, right? We can clearly see that this is the top of Tether's range, and this was kind of the middle point or the mid area of this range. And we know that this was the bottom of this range, right? Okay, so knowing those details, we know that we're somewhere in the middle of this trend right here. We put in what looks to be a higher low, you know, than these lows down here. Okay, so if this is going to be a higher low, then we could maybe see Tether, you know, maybe test back up to the top of the range again. Okay. Yeah. It does appear. I mean, like if we take out this candle 8.31%, guys, we're talking about retesting that, you know, that range low that we made in December probably. Not saying that's happening just yet, but man, Tether looking kind of bullish right here on the weekly. All right, and we got a weekly cross up here on Tether, sitting 49 on the RSI, so almost bullish on the weekly. Unless this just really rejects this pretty hardcore this week, I'm not really foreseeing that this this kind of stops, right? We got to break down, we got to reset. The weekly stochastics are down here, guys. I mean, like, there's no denying this fact that when you get a stochastic reset, it hasn't crossed above 20 on the weekly chart just yet, but you know, this week might confirm that if we see Tether kind of trade higher. Okay, this will probably confirm a buy signal for Tether. All right, if we do that on the weekly chart, we go to like the smaller time scales, like the 3-day. The 3-day maybe looking like it's sort of topped out a bit, so we could get like maybe a short-term movement down here, next couple days down. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's still some separation on the daily here for Tether. All right, we just entered bullish territory here on the daily. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm taking my time on this. I really want to get a good understanding of what's happening with Tether, and to me it looks like Tether might continue higher. Okay, and yeah, the fact that we've just entered bullish territory on the daily chart kind of has me a bit concerned. And with separation on the double stochastics, yeah, so we could see Bitcoin come down to test that 21.7K region. I have this box here. Okay, it's between 21.7 and about 19K. All right, it's a big range, but this box right here was acting as will probably act initially as support if we do get down to those areas. All right, like I said before, there's kind of been some sort of decoupling with the DXY and Tether, right? Because Friday the DXY actually, you know, dropped off a bit, whereas Tether just kind of broke out. All right, and I think the DXY, you know, coming up to a resistance here, all right, and sort of putting in this sort of flag pattern, getting a nice retest off this low after it broke out. And the DXY also, I mean, yeah. So there's still some separation on the double smooth stochastic here, but we have a short signal that's coming in here on the DXY. All right, so to me, we might see something like this for the dollar. The dollar might come back down to equilibrium and hold this low. All right, and I'm bullish. I'm bullish on equities based off this information. Okay, I think equities are going to do well this week based off the dollar showing this type of potential rejection right here. Okay, yeah. So I think the DXY comes back down to equilibrium and maybe retest this low. All right, we got a nice bounce off this low. We're going to get a retest. Okay, so I think the dollar comes off, but Tether is showing something different here, man. Right? Like we just went through this. It just broke. It's breaking the top side of this range. To me, this looks like you know, maybe some sort of double bottoming formation here. We could see Tether test back up to 7.58%. All right, that's what this chart's saying to me anyway, on the daily. All right. The weekly chart also, like I said, closed a weekly bullish engulfing candle. Right, we engulfed all of these previous weeks here last week. Now we're still below this major moving average here, but if people are still selling, man, I mean, we're gonna see Tether go back up to test 7.76 potentially. So that's kind of the analysis right now on Tether. Looks like Tether's kind of going to go back up, unless we just get some huge rejection right here tomorrow or something, like right here, and this thing just gets slammed back into the range and just takes out last week's candle. You know, yeah. Tough to be bullish right now in this particular scenario. All right, we even have a 3-day multi-range long that's in here on Tether. So I'm leaning for downside this week on the crypto market, and 7.66% will probably be tested for Tether. That would be the equilibrium area here. All right. Sorry, I don't have good news here, guys, but I'm just reading a chart. Chart saying number go up for Tether. So just trade carefully, or maybe take this week off. Maybe just chill and watch the price action, right? You don't need to trade every week or every day unless that's something you do that you need to do. But that's why we have our automated systems that we built here at STP. So make sure you guys join the VIP call tomorrow. All right. I want to show you guys something really interesting that I actually learned on, I don't know if you guys know Crypto Jeb, but Jeb was talking about some pretty cool things on his stream the other day. And it was, what was it? It was the United States balance sheet or something. I forget what the actual ticker was, but he had it in line chart or something. This was it, United States Central Bank balance sheet, okay? And it's really interesting to see how this kind of correlates with Bitcoin and how this correlates with really all of it, right? So we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at the correlation versus Bitcoin. Now we're gonna put it in log scale so we can really see it. And I'm gonna take off some of these other indicators here so we can kind of really see what's happening with these two indices. All right, so I guess you can't really tell what's happening with Bitcoin with that. Let's put the S&P on here too. But basically the gist of what this is, it's tough to really see this actually. I don't really like this comparison. But basically, maybe I should do it in percentage. No, that wouldn't be good. Basically, every single time there is a printing of money, okay, like during the COVID low right here, you can see after they started printing money, we got a huge bull run. We're not printing money right now, right? This number go down. But this number coming down, this number coming down means, why is it doing that? Why is it like this? Anybody know? Anyways, basically number coming down means Bitcoin down and stocks down. And we don't really see anything until they start printing money again. Or the market prices in the low liquidity like they did back in 2015. Okay. And I think we're just going to be pretty much consolidating and doing a bunch of nothing until either A, the market realizes that there's no more liquidity coming in and they need to just deal with how the current liquidity is, or B, we're going to get a black swan event where the Fed's going to have to just start printing money again. Because, I mean, or they could just let this market continue going down too. I mean, there's three options here. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. If you're just tuning in, we're kind of bearish on the situation right now on the market. We're coming off the range highs, and so we're going to retest the mid-range areas on Bitcoin. Let's see. I'm going to change the song here. All right. So, I mean, this actually was really a bad chart example, but basically the United States Central Bank balance sheet will kind of give us a clue as to when we can really start to see this market go again. Let's take a look at gold. Gold kind of just sideways here. Above 1,800 actually is good for gold, I would say, in terms of the ranges. But nothing really happening. This thing can just go sideways and consolidate for a bit. I mean, it's been making lower highs, right? We have a high, a lower high, another lower high, but it's holding these lows. So we could come back down to the low again and test it and do a bunch of nothing for a while for gold. It's gold. Probably waiting for the CPI numbers also. CPI numbers go up, gold probably goes up too. Take a look at ETH. I wanted to look at USDC also because Tether is good to look at, but we know USDC is actually the more prominent stablecoin that people are actually going to probably trust longer term. So USDC broke this range, made these lower highs, and kind of rounded out and found support at the equilibrium area, and is now back testing this major moving average and got back into the range actually. And yeah, we are up against some weekly resistance here for USDC, right? We can see this. So we'll see how USDC kind of performs. USDC already made looks like it already made a bullish cross here on the weekly, on regular candles, on HA candles. Not so much just yet. Again, above 20 on the oscillator is a buy signal. If we get that cross this week, just be aware of that. All right. So honestly, I don't really have too good of news. We're kind of consolidating and I would say bearishly right now. All right, that's the crypto market kind of in a nutshell right now. We'll take a look at ETH. And ETH is also kind of in this pennant right now. And rejecting off that major resistance level with Bitcoin, right? And if we don't hold these moving averages here for ETH, which by the way, we're literally just sitting right on the 200-day moving average right here. This could result in price coming down if we don't hold that area. Right? There's not a lot of trading volume here, so they could just dump this thing right to the bottom of the triangle, right? Keep that in mind. That could happen. That's not something that they cannot do. That is something that they can do and probably will do if given the opportunity to do that. All right. Everyone's well, let's take a look. Not everyone's bullish, but it's a neutral market right here. Kind of a wait and see type of scenario, which is kind of why I'm probably not going to be taking any trades this week. I'm going to just kind of sit back and watch the price action and see what everything is doing. Because to me, it doesn't look like, I mean, yeah, you could probably take shorts, but shorting at major moving averages is not exactly the best play. Even if we do break them, you would have probably wanted to take your shorts a little bit higher. Okay. I mean, there's still probably some good risk to reward down here. And you could probably get, short to, 1,500 here for ETH, but if we start breaking 1,500, we can talk about retesting, 1350s, all right? And that's those are the kind of the levels I'm looking at here for ETH right now. All right, 1,500 and 1,350 for downside. If we hold 1,500, we have a good chance at maybe coming back up to retest these highs. But right now, Tether's looking bullish, right? All right. Feel free to drop your tickers, guys, and whatever you guys want to look at. Nothing really looks too good right this moment. Except for Hex, man. This thing just running. Holding the bottom of its channel. Hex actually one of those coins that's outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. But again, it's overbought up here, and I wouldn't be looking to buy it here either. I'd wait for this thing to come down. All right, you guys are real talkative tonight, real chatty. You only have 8 people on tonight. We'll check APT and Theta for you, man. Sure. All right, so you see I have these areas targeted and circled. I think this is the area where it could pull back to. And yeah, I think we're still in a kind of a correction phase for this asset. It made a big run, man. And that's what it looks like to me. We'll look at SNX and Matic. All right. So if you missed it, we are kind of bullish on Tether, given it breaks this major moving average that is ahead of it. Okay, so if that gives you any clue, that means I mean you're going to have some assets that are going to outperform and do whatever. We'll take a look at them, right? But overall, I think maybe this market is still got some room to go down. All right. We'll see how it does around that 21.7K region. If we don't lose these major moving averages on the daily chart, then we can remain, bullish, at least from a daily chart perspective. Okay. So we're teetering right now. We're teetering. We're right on that area where if we break it, we lose it, and we then back test it as resistance. It could be problematic for us to go back down to a lower part of the range. Right. Cool. But that's kind of why I'm just not really going to be trading this week. I just want to see what's going to happen this week. It's a big week. It's probably a big week in the market. All right. So yeah, APT, the 618 or the 50% retracement level, this area here was used as support before going on this rally. And if you zoom out, this kind of looks like maybe a cup and handle type of structure that could be forming if it does do that, right? Yeah, we talked about gold, and it is putting in some lower highs, right? So that's Aptos. We'll look at Theta. So a pretty big rejection here at the daily resistance level and lost. And losing the daily 200-day moving average. Let's go to the weekly chart. Weekly chart putting a nice bearish engulfing candle in. Not a good look there for Theta. So here's kind of our resistance line to look at. All right, we literally came up to it. We didn't break it. And kind of your support region here, okay? Could be looking for this back test, all right? That really wouldn't be out of the cards. And it really wouldn't shock me if this is where we end up maybe holding a support, maybe. Depends on the demand for this asset, I don't really know. We have some supports here. Or we could get a full-on type 2 return, which just means we come back to this low and maybe make a double bottom before we actually really break out of it, all right? So that's what we're looking at on Theta. It putting in a nice bearish engulfing candle. You might get this retest, this retest of this 106 region, and back test this area as resistance. We'll see. It could back test it as a support, but after you make a candle like that, man, it's usually like downside, not upside. All right. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I just don't like how Tether looks right now. It looks like Tether's bullish. So if Tether's bullish, then it's tough to be bullish on some of these altcoins, man, But yeah, I mean, it could just hold this region here. It could just hold this low and maybe make some sort of inverse. you know, head and shoulders type of structure where it holds here and it tries to rally out of here. So we could be looking at that 95 cent, 96 cent region there for theta. No, pump my bags. Yeah, right. Matic. Yeah, Matic putting in a nasty weekly candle also last week. Not really to be too shocked about, right? We got a reversal right at the 618. Kind of in the middle of a range or a little bit above the middle of the range. Outperforming most other assets too. Yeah, man, why can't you see a retest of the $1 region or like the, you know, the 92 cent region? I don't see why you wouldn't see that. And yeah, you got the rejection right at the 618, man. So like this could come all the way back down to the 2362 extension, maybe find a base here before then going back up. Yeah, we'll look at OP. $3 was that take profit area, man, remember? Okay, that was Matic. We'll look at SNX and Loop Ring. SNX actually looks pretty good. Nice. This coin is outperforming the market right now, okay? Yeah, so synthetics outperforming the market. Nice weekly bullish engulfing candle, getting above all the major moving averages. This coin looks like it's going into a major uptrend. All right, so something to watch out. This coin's outperforming the market. And yeah, that's looking pretty good, man. That's looking pretty good. That's looking very good. Look at that. All right, so you broke this major resistance and then back tested it as support. Guys, that is that's something not to ignore, right? This asset looks like it's pretty good. Pretty good. We'll look at Crow also, sure. Yeah, SNX in a big wedge setup here for sure broke out. All right. Very nice. Very nice. This actually looks really nice. So like longer term, your swing, if this continues its price action, we're looking, you know, to break, you know, that 350 area. And ultimately, you might get back up to that 550 region before really pulling back. If it breaks above here, right? So SNX looking pretty good, man. I mean, it's going to be tough for it to really rally if the whole market crashes, but putting a pretty strong candle, man. I would say that's pretty good. Tempted to make a trade after all this week on SNX? No, I'm not. I'm not tempted to make a trade, man. I'm not, even though it does look good. Hang on just a second. I'm changing the song. It's just going to keep playing otherwise. So Crow, Dot, Loop Ring. What else do we want to look at? OP. All right, we'll look at OP now. Wow, look at that. Stopped right below the 272 fib extension. Weird. So you can clearly see we got a consolidation happening up here. So we're probably going to back test this 250 area here on OP. We'll see if this does get back above. This could be okay, actually. I mean, right now it doesn't look too good, right below it, but if OP can reclaim this area here as support and get back above 262 and does one of these and holds, you know, we could see a break. We could see a break, right? 1, 2, 3 touches. We'll see, man. We'll see. Daily looks maybe like it's bouncing off 42. All right, that's not necessarily a bearish sign. That's them rejecting the bearish control zone on the daily chart. So let's see how that holds. The weekly chart, yeah, the weekly chart's extended, right? Yeah. So this is what sucks, man. When you get a weekly chart looking like this, it's already up here at, I mean, it got a reset. I mean, it's still sitting at 60 on the RSI, so still bullish. Okay, still bullish. Yeah, I mean, could consolidate up here. We'll see. It depends on what Tether ends up doing, what Bitcoin ends up doing. Yeah, I mean, you had a bearish engulfing, but you're still holding up in this flag, all right? I think long-term, this is a great project. But short-term, we could see a retest of the break, which was, you know, 192. Why wouldn't we come back to retest that? $2 eventually. Come back down, retest this low, hold it, kind of double bottom or something, and then run again, right? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But that's something I'd be looking out for that. Loop ring. My favorite shitcoin. Looper getting rejected at the 200-week moving average, just like Bitcoin. All right, but holding above the 21 EMA, and definitely did break out of this wedge pattern. All right, this was definitely a breakout. Okay, so it definitely did do that, and yeah, that was definitely a real structure. Okay, we saw this thing rip out of that off that low. But we could see, you know, this come back down and retest and maybe make a higher low before running again, okay? And that low would be confluent with about 25 cents, right? This low right here. I think that's about accurate. We'll see if that plays out. Because we got this squeeze out of here, but you know, we got resistance, right? So we're gonna pull back. I don't know how far we're gonna pull back, but I'm giving you guys an area where what makes sense, right? So coming back to this low here before we went on that run, maybe retest this low at 26 cents, which isn't that far away. Right, which isn't that far away, which is like another 20% move down. All right, so that's loop ring. Crow, dot. What else did you guys want to look at? Gold, we looked at gold already. All right, so Crow and dot we'll look at. That's not the right chart. I think Bittrex has the data, right? Yeah. So it kind of looks like this. So we had this like breakout fake breakout and back test and then double topped here, right? Pro actually looks kind of interesting down here. Doesn't look too bad. Especially if it holds these lows here. Yeah, man, let's see if you hold this low. You're putting in you put a nice wick in over here. Bouncing off of support, this would be a partial decline and a hold of this range. Okay? Right, you can see that this range right here is being held. And if you hold this range long enough, you could eventually test the top of the range again, right? And you had 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests. This would be your 4th attempt at breaking the range. All right? We'll see. It's really going to depend on what Bitcoin and Ethereum do, probably. So it's going to be tough for it to rally if they're not rallying. But it's set up to do something good here. All right, it's in a setup for sure. Daily RSI is sitting neutral, so no real inclination here on the RSI to tell us, hey, we could see a big pump, unless you're considering this to be some sort of some sort of cup and handle structure on the RSI. But I would say that you're reaching at that point. Flow, take a look at flow, sure. Look at dot and then flow. Hey, if you guys are enjoying the stream tonight, make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and tick the notification bell. I really appreciate that. So it's clear dot did break out, okay? Interesting. We have this 618 fib extension that it's just sitting on right here. All right, it's 580 region. We've touched it twice now and made it, and we're working on maybe making a higher low here. It just looks weak, man, because the rest of the market looks weak, but it is holding above 40 on the RSI on the hourly chart. All right, this is an hourly chart. We'll go to the 4-hour. 4-hour got oversold and is sitting bearish 33 on the RSI. Daily entered bearish territory right below 40. But we could be diverging a bit here on the daily. So yeah, we're sitting at a major support level here on dot right now. See if this area holds here. This is a big area here for dot. I mean, I would have liked to see dot at least test $9, man. I mean, like, This thing has been really performing really poorly. There's really nothing here until $9 anyway, so see if DOT can get up there. We got a multi-range 3-day short signal in right now. We got some short signals in, okay? All right, could see some downside on DOT if this kind of breaks, all right? The 4-hour chart. Yeah, the shorter term time scales look okay. Like I said, we're bouncing off this support. If we really see selling pressure come in though, man, it's not gonna hold. So we'll see. You know, your next real support for DOT is like $5, 5.16 or something. Look at flow. Flow also trying to hold these lows, man. Flow trying to hold the lows after it got this breakout. The weekly chart rejecting the 21 EMA. I think, you know, if we really do see market come back down, I mean, it really wouldn't shock me if we made a type 2 return. And the type 2 return would be down to like 78 cents. If we do break these lows down here, okay, we're right at these lows. So if we get more downside, it doesn't shock me if we go back to test the range low or the bottom where we got a big spring off of, okay? If you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you guys smash the like button up. Hit the subscribe button. You guys know what to do. You guys have been here long enough. Most of you. So DYDX, just trying to hold on to this range up here, okay? It's having some trouble because the rest of the market's kind of not going that direction. Pretty nasty candle here for DYDX. Do you have an 8-hour pivot coming in here? Interesting. Watch DYDX. It's at the bottom of its range, okay? I mean, if the whole market's going down, this is going to go down with it. But this, I would say, you know, on a shorter time scale, this is probably a low risk area if you are going to take a long trade because of where you're at on the chart, right? The daily already got a reset, you know, sitting at 40 on the RSI. Let's see. We got some longer term buys coming in. Right? The 7-hour long is in. 4-hour in a squeeze. That's a squeeze, man. But we have Stokes already topping out. I don't know, man. This doesn't look that good. Daily isn't looking too hot on the stochastics. 3 days pointing down. All right, scratch that, man. This doesn't look too hot. It looks like we're probably coming back to retest somewhere in these support ranges here. But yeah, I mean, this asset still looks pretty good long term. And yeah, we could see that 222 range hit. Okay, that makes sense to retest that Fibonacci level after coming up here and getting rejected a couple times. But again, you're pretty close to the bottom of the range. So I would say, you know, strategizing maybe along down here is okay for this asset. So we'll see if Bitcoin holds those major moving averages, guys. That's the key, right? The 21.7K region and that 1540 range for ETH. That's that daily 200-day moving average. If those areas hold, we can probably test the tops of the ranges again and maybe break them, right? We'll see. So I would say that if Tether really starts getting rejected, I think we got a good chance of doing that stuff. But we just put a 3-day long in, man. It's going to be tough to do that after printing something like that. That's a pretty significant signal, all right? We'll see. This could just get smacked down. That'd be great. But typically after it does something like that, it's not necessarily boding well for the market. So we could see some short-term moves up here going to the into the U.S. Open. But I think going into the rest of this week, we probably see some downside, all right? And yeah, this monthly candle here, if this thing, so 7.5% is probably where Tether's going if it's going up. I'd like to see this thing get rejected here just as much as you guys would. So, but make sure you guys tune in for the VIP session tomorrow. It's at 11 o'clock. Everyone's welcome to join it. All right, it's going to be an awesome session. Canadian CEO Alex has put a lot of work into doing Trend Automator and a lot of work on the SAR indicator. So make sure you guys pop in, check it out. We're always trying to innovate here at STP, so just drop in, support it, check it out if it's for you. If it's not for you, that's also fine. You know, maybe share it with somebody that might benefit from it, right? Cool. Well, we've been live for almost an hour tonight. I know not the best news on the stream tonight, but we like to keep it real here, man. Just make sure everyone's kind of in tune with what's happening. You guys know where your risk and exposure is, and just kind of stay in tune with what's happening with the crypto market and with traditional equities. Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the session and you guys get really some good information, education out of it. All right. So yeah, I appreciate the feedback and you guys tuning in and staying with me here. And I know it's a lot of the same people, so I really appreciate your guys' continued support. The folks that are continuing to invest in themselves and learn what's happening on these charts, and understand momentum and different patterns. And again, continuing to educate yourself is key. Yeah, we'll look at link here real fast for you, Aaron. But the general consensus right now is, hey, thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Rod. I'll check out Colt and Luna Classic for you here after I look at link real fast, all right? I'm saying way up, guys, but we haven't broke out. You guys can see link has not broke out just yet. Depending on how this gets drawn, man, thank you so much for the $5 super again, Rod. Appreciate that, man. Let's see. Yeah, so getting rejected here at the major resistance line. Just kind of trading in this consolidation range for a while. We could see link come back down and test the bottom of the range again if we get movement down again, right? I think this wouldn't shock me. Maybe we actually briefly break this and then snap back into it, type of deal. If we do get some big volatility spike or some movements down in this market. The weekly RSI, sitting 47, kind of neutral. All right, but you can see it attempted to go bullish and got rejected from the bullish control zone, and you know, this to me looks kind of like a, I don't know, not really any sort of pattern on the RSI here. I mean, yes, you could see that you did break this major RSI break, and you know, price may soon follow that. Might take some time. But for now, just kind of consolidating and getting rejected off the range highs. So maybe just come back down and test the range lows again, or you know, maybe this support level here at 6.25 holds up. We'll see here on Link. Link hasn't really been performing too hot in this market, but it could be putting in maybe a higher low than this low. But this is still a lower high than these highs, right? So you know, having an understanding of that is key also in these markets, is understanding, you know, what's happening with these prices. Yeah, you can see you broke this trend line here, so you know, there's a high probability this gets sold to a lower price. You know, maybe down, like I said, to 6.25 or 6.07, maybe coming down to these major support regions here for Link. Okay. All right, let me check out Cult and Luna Classic here for Rod. Again, thank you so much for the $7. We really appreciate that here. I'm assuming it's Cult Dow, right? That's what this one? So I don't have that much chart data on this one, but it does look like it did break. It did break out, right? We got this breakout here and consolidating, you know, broke above the 236 fib extension, so that's good news. You know, you might be looking at this 139 area as your next target. If it can catch some bids with the market, maybe doing a bunch of nothing, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this does look like a nice squeeze you're about to break here, right, man? Like, you can see that Bollinger Band nice and tight. If you do get some price action to the upside, this could break north. We did get a sell signal, another early sell in, but it hasn't broke the plane down just yet. So we'll see how this goes. It's starting to build momentum here, all right? So like I said, we could get up to that 139 region if selling pressure doesn't kind of come in and ruin this price action for you. It is above the daily 200-day moving average. That's pretty bullish stuff. But you got this long wick rejection here today on the rejection. But technically this is in a daily breakout, right? The candle body is above all these other wicks and candle bodies here above this support region, all right? But you could come back down to test this region first before maybe going higher. Really depends on what this market wants to dictate for this asset. But to me, I wouldn't be looking to get in this trade right here. Although the daily does look pretty good, right? We got some nice separation on the stochastics. We could see higher prices for this one based on that, okay? But it could take some time to consolidate here for a bit longer. Looks like it broke out today and it did like a 36% move and gave a portion of that back, okay? So we could consolidate for a bit. We could come down, back test this area first before maybe trying to go higher. Right, but I would say this does look not bad. It's technically in a daily breakout, but this candle right here, this wick, tells me that there's still some selling pressure coming in. Okay, Luna Classic, take a look at it. This coin really sucks. Nothing to really talk about here on this one, man. Just Rec City. You got your top of the range here at 43.9 and the bottom of your range here at 31.78, and you're just kind of going sideways doing a bunch of nothing. I mostly just bought ETH, Bitcoin, and some altcoins that I've been long on since June, July, and that I staked. And I got some DOT. I'm actually kind of heavy the DOT ecosystem this run, okay? Yeah, so I still have a short signal in here on Luna Classic, just FYI. All right, nothing good happening with this asset, unfortunately. So that's really it for this one, okay? I'm long injected protocol. I'm long. This is kind of my list, although I didn't buy any of this Efinity token. Yep, Glimmer. I am long Glimmer as well. Yes, sir. Glimmer, Mover, Flow, Kusama. I'm long a lot of the dot ecosystem tokens this cycle. I agree with you, Casper. I unfortunately just cannot own them all. Okay. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. If you guys have any other things you guys want me to look at, feel free to drop those in the chat here. IMX catching some bids here, man. All right. This looks like an inverse head and shoulder structure. I will say IMX looks pretty good right now, regardless of the rest of the market looking like shit. Rose, I traded Rose last cycle, man, from 5 cents to about 20 or 30 cents or something. I think Rose is going to be a good project too, yeah. Yeah, I traded Rose from down here to 30, 40 cents. C3 AI is a stock, yeah. But yeah, Rose throwing in a daily pivot. That's good. Probably something to not ignore is Rosecoin with their institutional DeFi stuff. Got a nice break here too, right? Nice run. And now just down sloping, consolidating here. So for sure looking like a flag formation here on Rose. See if these supports hold though. We'll look at C3 AI. You want me to take a look at that one, man? CFX, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Yeah, this could be looking like a range break here on the 4-hour daily chart. That looks nice, man. Like I said, I think equities might do well this week, and crypto might just chill and wait for news and stuff. But yeah, $30, you break that, you're looking at going to $43, the 50% retracement region, and this to me looks like some sort of cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders type of structure here after this breakout. You can see the bottom and then maybe this right handle, the right shoulder here after you got this break. Right, so you got this break and you got this big parabolic move up, and you're just starting to maybe test this range up here, and okay, looks pretty good. The weekly chart, I'm sure, was a weekly bullish engulfing candle. There it is. So $30 most likely gets tested after that. ETH, my long-term projection for ETH is like 10K on this cycle. We'll see, man. ETH, so I would say we can just fib it, man. And my next real target for ETH is the 1618. So maybe around 8,500, I'll look to really start exiting the market. Right, we literally did perfect on these fibs. Yeah, I mean, this is something to really pay attention to. We're above this region right now. We could see ETH. If it does get back above that 1700 range, we could see ETH go back to 3K pretty quick. I mean, you know, even the equilibrium area. Okay. So that's the area I'm watching right now. Is really we're just sandwiched in between these moving averages here for ETH. And this technically, this break technically. Yeah, that's close. I guess technically it did break, and this is just sitting here right now. So yeah, I'm just looking kind of at this triangle formation and this pennant formation here. And yeah, like I said, my long-term target for scaling out is probably anything above 5K. Probably look to be exiting up here. We had all these blow-off tops, man. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We can really just chart it like that. We got a couple touch points. I'm not accumulating chain link this cycle, but I'm sure it'll do well. We'll look at CFX, sure. Soldier. Got right to the 618, man. I don't know. This might pull back here, dude. You know? We can take a look at it, but I don't think it's going to break above, like, I don't think it'll do more than 150K on this cycle. But Flux, man, like this. Yeah, just wait for this to break this resistance line here, man, I would say. Okay. It could be wedging, but it could just continue down. Right, we hit the 618 gold mean ratio. Could come down for a bit. Right, just could do some of this stuff for a while. Maybe even break down and then go or some shit, you know? Hey, what's going on, man? We can check out PRMX, sure. Don't have a lot of data on this one, buddy, but I'll do what I can for you, man. So you want to break above 9374. That's the 236 extension from the swing high to the swing low. I mean, it has been, you know, sort of rounding and making these higher lows, which is nice to see. Okay. So you want to be paying attention to this trend line here, as it is respecting it. And as long as it's respecting that bottom trend line as a support, I think you're good. So yeah, I mean, the hourly looks like it's just reversing here, so that looks good. And this could maybe break up to 777. And if you break that, you're looking at going up back up to the range high, okay? So I would say this looks okay on the hourly chart right now. You have some divergence on the hourly, the 4 hour. No real edge on the 4 hour, man, but, you know, let's go to the daily. The daily is kind of not looking too hot. The daily is kind of pointing down, right? You're losing your daily momentum here. I mean, you are in bullish control zone, so you could just kind of sit up here and do a bunch of nothing. But as soon as you lose this trend line, man, you watch out. You could come back down. All right, buddy. Yeah, this weekly chart. Weekly candle not looking too hot. But yeah, I mean, eventually you could test, 10,000 or whatever this is, or a penny. Sure. And yeah, I mean, RSI is pretty wrecked, so I guess it's tough for this thing to really go down more. We'll see, man. We'll see how this goes. I would say that the likelihood chance of this going up in the coming weeks or months is good because you're at such a low RSI. So there's that. Not sure what this project is, but the weekly chart is in a squeeze. We got an early sell, but no confirmation of a sell. So, you might consolidate or, go sideways for a bit before maybe going back up. Again, you're going to depend on the macro of this market too. All right. So thanks, guys, for joining the stream tonight. Hopefully this was informative and you guys enjoyed it. And we do this every week. If you guys are new to the stream, we do this every week. So if you guys want me to cover something on these streams, like how I chart something or why I chart something the way I chart it, definitely ask me and maybe leave a comment or whatever, guys. I'm just here to try to help you guys learn and succeed in these markets. Okay. So I appreciate you guys' support. Make sure you guys smash it up on the way out. Smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you guys join the VIP tomorrow. That's at 11 o'clock. So make sure you join the Discord if you're interested in joining it, all right? Because all the details will be posted there. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful week.